Mitrom and Bandhuo, welcome to South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel, educational channel. This is your presenter Jeredy. So I have opened recently Indian Railway History channel at South Asia Maps playlist. I am going to cover a series of railway lines, how the British built the railway systems in India. It is one of the most fascinating aspects of the British Raj in India, British imperialist enterprises. I would like to cover the historical aspects and topographical and physiographical aspects in greater depth for the serious students or seekers of Indian knowledge. Today, the topic of discussion is building the Howrah-Bombay Rail link. Howrah is a twin city across the river Hooghly. West side is Howrah, east side is British East India Company headquarters, British Raj, Calcutta, capital of British India for many decades. Because rivers separated, initially there was no bridge, so the most of the railway systems were built from Howrah, Howrah to Delhi, Howrah to Madras, Howrah to Bombay. Later Howrah Bridge was built and the train can go to Calcutta. So Howrah Bombay line has 3 lines. We are talking about the part 1. That is via Allahabad, Prayag Tirtharaj. Other railway line that was built later went to Howrah via Nagpur, Howrah Asansol Nagpur. That is the second line, second way. We'll cover it later. The third rail line built from Howrah Kharagpur and Sini to Nagpur. Essentially Howrah Kharagpur Nagpur, Howrah Asansol Nagpur, Howrah Allahabad to Bombay. So that is the third part, and I will cover all the 3 in one presentation. So you can expect 4 presentations here. So the main system is Howrah Allahabad, Howrah Allahabad Bombay rail line completed in 1870. I have shown this part 1 in blue color here, second part in mostly green color, the third part in a black color here. This is the same slide here. The main railway line that was built in 1870. So the mutiny, Sepoy mutiny, occurred in 1857. At that time there was around about 200 miles of the railway system. The British colonial rulers realized the railways are very important in securing their imperial positions in Bharat. So they sanctioned nearly 5,000 miles of railway line in 1859. That means within 2 years they have covered almost 5,000 miles. When the British partitioned, British didn't partition, Islam partitioned. British facilitated it. In 1947 partition independence, there was around about 43,000. You can say close to 47. 47 partition, 47k miles of railway line. India got 35k and Pakistan, Bangladesh got nearly 8k. So the companies that built this railway line are East India Railway built the railway lines from Indo-Gangetic plains from Howrah to Delhi, that part. From Bombay to this region, the railway line was built by GIPR, that is Great Indian Peninsular Railway. That is East India Railway here, Great India Peninsular Railway. Later we'll deal with Nagpur Chhattisgarh Railway Company and Bengal Nagpur Railway Company when we talk about the remaining two. The Howrah Allahabad railway line was built in 1870 here, and later Howrah Nagpur railway built after 20 years via Asansol was built in 90. The last via Kharagpur line was built in 1900. So 1857 is Sepoy Mutiny. 13 years later, the railway line via Allahabad here, that is 70. After 20 years, that is the Nagpur line. After 10 years, the Kharagpur line, all reaching from Howrah to Bombay. So the main here, again there are many variations because the Howrah Delhi line itself has a Sahibganj loop, and it is a main line via Kiyul, Lakhisarai, Devagar, and it is a grand chord via Dhanbad and Gaya. I have covered them extensively. Here I am showing only two. So we don't want to get into that subtleties because that is totally a different topic. So we have a Howrah and we have Kanna, Sahibganj across Rajmahal, Kiyul, Lakhisarai, Patna, Danapur, and goes to Buxar, and across Varanasi there is a Mughalsarai. It never crossed Ganga river at that stage. Mirzapur, Chunar, Allahabad. And main line went to Delhi. Now we are talking about Bombay line. Allahabad to Katni, Murwara, Jabalpur and Itarsi Junction and Khandwa Junction and Burhanpur Pass, Bhusawal Junction and Jalgaon Junction and Manmad Junction, goes to Nashik, actually Nashik Road, and then goes to Sahyadri Mountains, Igatpuri, enters into Vaitharna Plateau, Ullas River Plateau, then goes to Bombay Salsette Island. That is in brief. Here in the black we are showing the central provinces or Madhya Bharat. This is the Nizam's territory Bearer, that is central provinces Bearer, the princely state of Bastar, 24 Parganas and Calcutta. This is Khandwa and Ratlam and Ajmer line. So that is in brief, and let's go and look at the important things in topographical perspective. This is our main channel, South Asia Maps JRD. Mitrom and Bandhvam, I strongly request you, if you like these presentations, and please go and subscribe the channel and encourage your friends to look at them. And I have already posted more than 140 interesting topics, presentations, and varied the topics of Indian culture and heritage. And these are some of the railway lines I covered: the Madras Malabar Railway Link and Madras Bombay Railway Link, and I have covered the Sahibganj Loop, the main line and the chord line, and you can look at them in detail. And this is you can see the first railway line. The British built the railway line from Howrah. This is the East India Railway Company. This is the Howrah and Bardhaman here, Kanna here, and we have a Sahibganj loop, the first, then goes to Mangyar and Bhagalpur, Mangyar, Lakhisarai, Kiyul and Patna. Then it crosses the Son River and in Kolwa near Ara region, then the Buxar region, then here we see the Varanasi, and across the Varanasi the Mughalsarai or Deen Dayal Puram major railway junction, and Mirzapur, Chunar and Allahabad. East India Railway Company built Allahabad line. up to. Then it extended that until Jabalpur. And by 1870, the great Indian Peninsula Railway system that was built from Bombay to Bhusawal, Khandwa finally bridged the East India Railway section at Allahabad 1870. That means this railway line that is via Allahabad, that is circuitous system, even though but was ready by 1870, that connected the Sindh Sagar, that is the Bombay, Salsette Island is in the Sindh Sagar, Arabian Ocean, and Howrah, Calcutta are close to Ganga Sagar. So Bombay Presidency and Bengal Presidency was linked via central provinces and bearer by 1870. And let's go look at the topographical perspective of this one. And the railway lines were built across the Gangetic plains. We have Calcutta here, and there will be across Howrah, and the railway line went until that Pandua and Bardhaman, and after Bardhaman there will be Khanna. From Khanna it went to Pakkur, this is Sahibganj loop, and went to Sahibganj, this is Raj Mahal Hills, a part of Chota Nagpur plateau in the Santal Parganas. Sahibganj loop, then Bhagalpur, then Mangyar or Munjer, these are the Kharagpur hills. Then the East India Railway line built to Lakhisarai and partly Patna. Remember, these are not built, they were built in stages, the rails were running. This is we are talking about when their gaps were completely closed. It's not like building serially like that. And after Patna, there is a Son river here. There is a town called Kolwar. The Kolwar bridge was built and it crossed into Ara. This is the Bhojpur region, or the historic British district of Shahabad. This is Sonpar, this is Ganga and Karmanasha river. Buxar, the historic battle was fought there, and after Buxar, it never crossed into Ganga, and it came to Mughalsarai. Mughalsarai, you can see almost few kilometers from Varanasi, and the river Ganga separates that. There is no need to cross Ganga because we are not going to Awadh and Purvanchal region at that time. Even though railway lines were built, but we are not talking about that. The railway line continued south of Ganga river, Mirzapur and Chunar, and we are at Prayag Tirtharaj, Allahabad river. The railway line didn't need to cross Ganga at all. It crossed Yamuna river to go to Doab region, Kanpur. That is a different story. We are not interested. So at Prayag, now, so it was built by East India Company. Then East India Company, East India Railway built an extension from Allahabad to Jabalpur. That was there much earlier than filling the gap. It went through, this is the Kaimur mountains, this is the Vindhyachal mountains, this is the Barner mountains. It took advantage of Manikpur gap and went to Rewa plateau. Manikpur then connect to Satna and Maihar. Maihar is actually in the trough called Son trough, Son river trough. And from there onwards, much of the time the railway line passes completely in the Son trough and Narmada trough. Then it came to Katni. At that time it was Jabalpur, district of central provinces. Also called Murwar, Katni-Murwar region is a major railway junction. From Katni one can take a train to Bilaspur, one can take a train even go to up to Guna and Gwalior and north to Delhi also. Katni, Jabalpur. At Jabalpur it crossed the Narmada river. It crossed the Narmada river and continued to go in the Narmada valley. You are in the Narsingapur, Gadarwara and Piparia. It all goes there and at Itarsi. Itarsi is in the Narmada Valley or Narmada Trough. North of Itarsi, few kilometers there is a Hoshangabad, and you cross the Narmada at Hoshangabad region, then go to Baidullah and Bhopal, and other train can continue to Gwalior, Delhi. That is the other part. So we are in Itarsi. The train continues from Itarsi and it goes to Harda. Somewhere will be Harda. Then goes to the Nimad region or Nimar region or East Nimar, West Nimar. That's the Khandwa region. Khandwa is a very important junction. From Khandwa one can take a train to Indore, Ratlam to Ajmer and so on. We are descending here. This is the Satpura mountains, and it cuts the Satpura mountains through a pass called Burhanpur Pass. Historically it was in the East Nimar district, now it's a separate district. Then goes at Bhusawal region, Bhusawal junction. Then close to Bhusawal there is again a the Bhusawal junction here, and Jalgan junction, Bhusawal and Jalgan, and it continues and goes to Nandgaon Gap. This is the Ajanta range, and this is the Ganga Hills, and goes to Manmad junction. From Manmad junction one can take a train and go to Hyderabad, Nizam's territory. Manmad junction, and from Manmad it goes to Nashik road, doesn't touch Nashik road. Then Igatpuri. At Igatpuri there is a pass called Borgat Pass. Excuse me. The Thalgat Pass, it descends into Vaitharna Plateau and Ullas Plateau and crosses the Bombay Salsette Island and reaches the Bombay. This is the first main railway line that was built. Most part was built by East India Railway Company, EIR. This part was built by GIPR, Greater India Peninsular Railway. Again I am showing you the fascinating three-dimensional map. We have Ganga river here, the Kosi river here, Gandak here, and Sarayu Ghagra here. This is the distributary of Ganga, that is Bhagirathi Hooghly river. Howrah will be here, Calcutta will be here. This is 24 Parganas. This is the Ganga saga. From Howrah to Burdavan, Kanna, and Pakkur, Sahibganj, Rajmal Hill goes to that. This is the Kharagpur hills near Bhagalpur, Mangyar region, Mangyar, and goes to Patna will be there, and Arra and Kolwar here. This is the Son river, Kolwar, and goes to Baksar region, and Mughalsarai, Dinadayalpuram junction, and continues south of Ganga. It is Prayag, Tirthraj, Allahabad. We are talking about Howrah, Allahabad, Bombay line. Then goes to, this is the Kaimur ranges. You can see the Son river trough. You can see the Narmada river trough. This is the Kaimur range. This is the Barner mountains. These are Vindhyachal ranges. And goes to like Manikpur and Satna, Maihar, and comes to Murwar, Katni, north of Jabalpur. Then the Jabalpur will be here because this is the Narmada river. This is the Maikala range. This is Chhattisgarh basin. And the Jabalpur, it crosses Narmada river, goes to Narmada valley or Narmada trough. Jabalpur, Narmada valley, then Godarwara, Piparia, and Itarsi. At Itarsi, the other train goes to Bhopal, Hoshangabad, Ubaidullah Ganj, Bhopal. We are interested Harda, continuing. And here you see the gap, Burhanpur gap and Tapati river, gateway to Deccan, Dakshin Bharat, and goes there. And Jalgan and Bhusawal junction, the Nandgaon gap and Godavari valley. Manmad will be somewhere here. And it goes to Nashik here, the Godavari, Nashik, and Igatpuri, and Thalgat Pass enters into Vaitharna Plateau and Ullas River Plateau. This is the Bombay Salsette Island. So that is the fascinating story how the British East India Company and British Raj later built a fascinating railway system from Howrah, their capital, in Bengal Presidency to Bombay in Bombay Presidency via Allahabad by 1870. That is, Howrah to Bombay, there are 3 lines. We covered part 1 now. Thank you very much, Mitrom and Bandhvom. Please subscribe our channel and bring the knowledge to your friends. And see you later, and we'll continue Howrah Bombay Rail Line in the second part, that is via Nagpur and Asansol. Thank you very much.